Howdy, and welcome back to me talking about the 2005 American computer-animated science fiction adventure comedy film, Robots. No, today I wanted to talk about a series that I hold pretty close to my heart, and that of course is the animated anthology series, Love, Death, and Robots. The level of quality and pure passion behind these episodes is incredible. And I'm here to shit on that. Kidding. Well, okay, you see, this series is very varied. The only ties between the episodes in this series is that they're all animated, and they all include something from within the title. Love, death, or robots. So you know, literally anything. Yo, my favorite episode in this series, the entire series of Big Mouth. But I have some passionate feelings about the show, and I want to express those in the form of a tier list, because I really like listing things. We can start the video now. We begin Volume 1 with Episode 1, 3 Robots. This one's simple compared to the others, but it's still fun. I love the robots' designs in this, they're great. Most of the world building here is set up by backgrounds, but I actually quite enjoy that. It's pretty funny, although some timely references may end up aging it a bit poorly. The music reminds me of something you might see on like a TLC reality show. I don't really know what's going on there. Pyramid Ladybot here goes on a quick little rant about humans' hubris of perfection and how they destroyed the environment and doomed themselves. Keep that in your back pocket. That's a surprise tool that'll help us later. Then Chris Parnell Cat starts talking, and that's the episode. Pretty good, solid episode. Fun characters, good visuals, silly writing. A solid A tier, that one. Beyond the Aquila Rift is one that everyone else seems into, but it just doesn't click for me. I do like a good space story, but the characters don't really intrigue me at all. It's also paced kind of weird. There's not much time between the big impactful moments. It makes me feel like I'm trying to run a marathon, but I've also got a plane to catch in 10 minutes. Some parts look visually stunning, but the character faces are just a bit too uncanny valley for me. Also, it doesn't help that it triggers my arachnophobia right at the end. C tier for me, sorry.
Whoa, whoops!
Ice Age starts the silly, gimmicky collection of episodes, and I don't like any of them. This is one of the ones where I just felt nothing while watching it. I guess these light effects are kinda cool. I don't know, D tier. Sunny's Edge is the reason I watch this series. Now, I'm not gonna say right off the bat that it's the best one, but it's definitely up there. Love the whole alien dystopian dogfighting setup. The colors in this are phenomenal. The characters are great. The monster designs. I fucking love Carnivore, dude. She's so cool. The reveal at the end is also insanely well done with that final shot. God damn. If you're at all interested and can handle boobs with nipples and some gore, I highly recommend checking out this piece if you haven't. S tier. Now on to one of my least favorite episodes, When the Yogurt Took Over. I liked one line from this entire short.
We want Ohio.
The rest is just kind of bland. Like yogurt. I don't know. The animation style wasn't there for me. The story wasn't there for me. The comedy wasn't there for me. Nothing was there for me. Not even the yogurt.
No.
Okay, so the Secret War is kinda divisive for me. On one hand, I really like how it looks. It feels like an FPS title, similar to like COD or Battlefield, but with actual personality. It's not as uncanny as Beyond was, and the action was actually really good. On the other hand, the story was slow, and I didn't really like any of the characters. I think it has grown on me a little bit more, though, because originally I thought this episode was a D tier, but I think I'm gonna bump it up to a low B.
Okay.
It's time to suck some souls. And this one's just solid. Art style is awesome. The designs, especially Dracula's, are really cool. And the characters actually have personality in this one. There's not much to say about this one, honestly. It's just a really solid B tier.
Okay.
The Witness is immaculate. Dude, I love time loops. Ouroboros storytelling is so cool to watch. Speaking of cool to watch, the style of this episode is incredible. It's gritty Spider-Verse, and it's godly. I remember the first time I watched this and the main girl looked out the window to find the guy she had just killed staring right back at her from across the street, which is the opposite of what happened at the beginning of the episode. The world looks great, the character designs are crazy good, the camera work here. Do you still call it camera work if it's completely animation? Whatever, it's great. There's so many shots and movements that I'm just astounded by. S tier for sure. I like mechs, but Suits is kinda eh. The style is like if Borderlands and the Telltale Walking Dead games had a baby, and I think it's okay. This is another one where the pacing just drags, and a lot of these shots kind of feel uninteresting to me. C tier.
Whoa, whoops!
Good hunting? More like really good hunting.
Because it's really good.
Visuals are gorgeous, world is cool as hell, and the characters are super solid. I can be a little nitpicky with some of like the lines and the line deliveries, but my main gripe is that it was written like it was supposed to be a feature-length film. There are multiple time skips, unseen relationship developments, and moments that are told rather than being shown. The more time this episode could have had, the better, I think. Still, high B.
Okay.
I'm surprisingly bored by the dump. Its premise should be wild. An old man who lives in a dump evades eviction with the help of his trash monster dog, but it just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know, maybe it's because I've met people like Mr. Dvorak. The visuals are purposefully ugly, but that doesn't make me like them. D tier. I think the concept of shapeshifters, werewolf soldiers, is pretty cool. And that's about all I have to say about this one. I mean, the werewolves look cool, but they're only on screen for like a couple of minutes. I don't know, C.
Whoa, whoops!
Yuri Lowenthal's in Fish Night. I noticed it immediately, so I'm telling you immediately. Visually, this is stunning. Everything else, not so much. Characters are awkward, there's barely any story, and it ends right when something interesting happens. Even lower C.
Whoa, whoops!
Helping Hand is one that I've appreciated more on every rewatch. It's so chilling and tense. I remember being on the edge of my seat when I first watched it. I mean, it still makes me anxious watching it now. Okay, some of the logic doesn't really line up. Like how she drifts in space for 10 minutes, but like only moves 50 feet. And she was clearly off course here. She was gonna miss. But whatever. Still very good for me. This is an A tier. I genuinely don't know what to say about alternate histories. It's just an educational social studies video about the angry mustache man, but also it's a comedy. F.
No.
Love a good sentient ship. This one's surprisingly good. I remember it being one of my least favorites initially, but now I find it to be pretty alright. There's not much to talk about world-wise, it's not really built up at all, but I like the concept. And as far as visuals go, these are probably my favorite realistic humans from the first season. The main character really sells this one for me. She has a nice little arc that really suits the series' style. Just all around pretty good.
Okay.
Blind Spot is so forgettable. Every time I rewatch this series, I go, oh right, this episode. Okay. There's nothing like crazy good here. I kinda like the style, but not nearly as much as other episodes. And that's about it, honestly. D tier, I'm sorry. Zima Blue is very good. That much is already known. I don't have much of a personal connection to it, but the quality and storytelling alone make this an automatic A tier. The visuals are astounding, the designs are memorable. I really like the voice acting here. Yeah, it's Zima Blue. We're actually halfway done now, since Volume 1 is double the length of the others. Sorry in advance. If you like the video, maybe hit the like button. Or the other one, that's fine too. And if you're feeling really spicy, maybe subscribe, I don't know. Without further ado, Volume 2, Episode 1. Automated customer service. I don't know. I feel like this plot is so generic. Also, remember what I said about the dump? No, put that surprise tool away. But good on you for remembering. It's intentionally ugly, I know. But I still don't like it. I mean, the voice acting was good, and the sound and the music was alright, but I don't like this one. F tier.
No.
I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion, but I like Ice more than Zima Blue. There are so many shots in Ice that I adore that I just can't find in Zima. I really like the world here. It has so much character to it. Oh, and I really like the characters too. This one's just so good. Like, way better than I remember it being. I think it's an S tier. Pop Squad is an interesting case, because there's so much here that's quality, and it should rank really high for me. But much like Beyond, it just doesn't. I mean, first of all, I don't like kids, so having a plot revolve around them doesn't really interest me at all. This does feel like another case of not long enough, much like Good Hunting. I just feel like there's a lot that's not developed or finished here. I don't know, it's good, just uninteresting to me. I'll give it a B tier, though.
Okay.
Snow in the Desert is okay, I guess. Visually, it's stunning. But I'm not impressed by ultra-realism as much as I am like a striking style or really good designs. I don't really like some of the alien designs, and the plot is super slow even though it's pretty simple. I guess the whole nutsack hunting conflict was kind of silly, but then they added plot to it and then it just became a really weird story choice. It's still alright though.
Whoa, whoops!
It's a new day, I've got a new shirt on, and my hair looks like a goddamn rat's nest. I don't know why I like the tall grass so much. I've criticized episodes for being too simple, being too short for the story to be interesting, and not really having characters to care about. But for some reason, this episode hits the exact point where those turn into positives. Add on the weird sense of nostalgia I get every time I've watched it, and boom. You get an episode that isn't all that special compared to the other ones, but it's oddly special to me. S. But I will make sure it's the lowest one. All Through the House is quite a standout episode. The shortest one here, which is understandable considering it was done in stop-motion animation, and a holiday special, whoa. Funny concept, great execution. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I think leaving both the kids alive was a much better way to do the story, since that final line really wraps the whole thing together nicely.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
A tier. It's really good. I wanna like Life Hutch. Michael B. Jordan is in it. He's so cool. But like, nothing happens for 80% of the episode. They just do a tense don't move section for 20 seconds. Then cut to a flashback that happened no less than 10 minutes before the episode started. And repeat. For once, I didn't want exposition as to why the character was in the situation in the first place. Because you can already get that with the shot of him looking up to other ships fighting in the sky. It's just pretty mid, C tier.
Whoa, whoops!
Finally, we have the Drowned Giant. This one's weird. Super dialogue heavy, which is something this show doesn't typically do. Zima Blue was too, so maybe it's like a finale thing. It's not a finale thing. I remember watching this in the parking lot at my high school during the last week of my junior year. Okay, well, I watched the whole volume while I was in school. This was just the one that I had left over at the end of the day. It's confusing. It's fascinating. It's a guy talking about how a giant dead body changes over time, both by nature and by man. B?
Okay.
Okay, we're on to the last volume now. But before anything, go get some water. You look parched. Got it? Good. We're starting with 3 robots, exit strategies. I'm gonna rip into this one a little bit. I don't like exit strategies. For multiple reasons. Number 1, it's pretty much just the first one again, which might sound pretty alright to you, but that leads me into number 2. It's a sequel episode in an anthology series. Prior to this, the series had that one little bit of consistency in it, in that whatever you watched is it. There's no more. You may really like or really dislike a certain episode, but that doesn't matter in relation to new episodes, because, like the hit 3D CG animated Disney film Meet the Robinsons said, you keep moving forward. And 3, remember our surprise tool? The concept of 3 robots as a whole talks about human hubris and our imminent, our as in literally us, self-destruction through methods of man-made catastrophes and ruining the environment, which is good commentary. But all of my respect for the discussion this creates is nullified when originally this episode ended with a QR code that revealed a Love, Death, and Robots NFT collection. You know, NFTs, notoriously awful for the environment to create. I don't know if it's like a wrong place, wrong time scenario. The person who made these NFTs is credited as a writer on 25 episodes, which includes the original 3 robots, but not the sequel. Anyway, the last line is pretty cringe.
Elon Musk.
I just don't like this episode. Looking at it as only an episode, it's probably like a C. The writing, concepts, and charm is a bit lower than the original, but with everything else, minus the NFT stuff, since it's not the only one in the volume to have a code, it's an F tier.
No.
Bad Traveling is so cool. The setting is fucking awesome, which enhances the visuals, which are gritty and ugly, but in a way that gives it personality. All of the characters are fine-ish, except for the main one. He's cool as shit. Love the crab design and how he uses a corpse to talk. That's such a cool visual rather than him just talking. My fan's been on this whole time. I'm so sorry if there's a constant whirring. Hold up. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not going back. I've already had to redo the first third. At first, I didn't know whether or not to root for the main character, but he really brings it back at the end, showing how he is the only good person on this ship. I think this is a high A tier episode for me. This is a great one. The very pulse of the machine is eye candy. I don't really care about the characters or the story. Even the music was a bit cheesy at times. But hey, some of these shots fucking rule. And that's it. C tier.
Whoa, whoops!
It's another gimmicky episode. Night of the Mini Dead. I really hate pitched up voices, so all of the dialogue is like unbearable to me. I can't really ogle designs either, since everything is so tiny. The lighting might be the best part, since in some places it looks really good, you know, super dynamic. I don't know, man. I just don't like this type of episode. D. Kill Team Kill is inconsistent to me. I like the style. It has this action cartoon vibe to it. Some shots are really cool looking, but others make it look like a really generic adult cartoon. Hey, the bear looks super cool, and the music kinda hits. The story doesn't seem confident, though. It feels like it's in between a silly action show and a governmental drama. This feels like the most B tier to me. Like right in the middle.
Okay.
I don't really like Swarm. It's the Godzilla singular point of the series. The characters don't stop talking, and they don't talk like normal people. Also, the human faces are super stiff and awkward. I think this is probably one of the worst examples of uncanniness in the show. I don't really care for the Swarm itself and the universe that's built here. Some ideas are kind of cool, but most of them are just boring. I have to say F tier.
No.
Poor Volume 3, man. I feel so bad. It's another one of the dumb ones, but this one's alright. Mason's Rats is dumb, and the ending doesn't really make too much sense. But the robot designs are kind of fun, the concept is a decent kind of silly, and it's pretty short, so I don't mind watching it too much. I don't know, maybe the sound design's kind of off for me. I can't see myself putting this one any higher than a high D. I love Cthulhu and Cthulhu-adjacent monsters, so In Vaulted Halls and Tombed is really cool to me. I don't care much for the characters, but the big monster section is so fucking cool. This one's way too short, or at least the time allocation is wrong. They spend so much time shooting at the fucking spiders for nothing. The first time, run. Just run. You can literally outrun them. Stop shooting at them. The second time makes more sense, but the spiders stop chasing them after they kill only one of them. So, like, it doesn't add much tension. You know, I'm realizing that they've added a lot of, like, army episodes. I don't know why they didn't just call it Love, War, and Robots. I'm so funny. Low B tier for me.
Okay.
Hibero. S tier. I have so many things to say about this one. but I don't want to. I don't want to cement words to this wordless masterpiece. So I won't. Hibaro isn't my number one pick, but I implore you, this is the one to watch above all others. I'm going to rank them all flat out, just by number, lowest to highest. But I feel like I should explain the tiers a little bit. For that, I'm going to be using the patent-pending social situation method. I will be using a simulated situation where I will be talking with a friend, with each episode on in the background. Each tier represents how much of the TV I'll be watching during that conversation. I don't really have any friends here to give you a visual, so I'm using myself. F tier is reserved for the episodes where I'll be changing the channel to avoid them, not really conversing with my friend. They are alternate histories, when the yogurt took over, automated customer service, 3 robots, exit strategies, and swarm. I don't like those. D tier is for the ones where I just won't look at the TV, usually because I find no interest there, resulting in a focused conversation. They are Ice Age, The Dump, Night of the Mini-Dead, Mason's Rats, and Blind Spots. C tiers for the ones where I would look just to see if anything interesting is going on, perhaps to start a different topic of conversation. They are Fish Night, Beyond the Aquila Rift, Snow in the Desert, Life Hutch, Shapeshifters, Suits, and The Very Pulse of the Machine. B tier is like when I want to split my focus evenly. You know, try to get the basics of the episode while still talking decently with my friend. They are In Vaulted Halls Entombed, The Secret War, Pop Squad, Kill Team Kill, The Drowned Giant, Lucky 13, wait a minute, how the fuck? Sucker of Souls, and Good Hunting. I'm more focused on this show with A-tier episodes. I'll most likely refer to the episode multiple times in a conversation, potentially to talk about a design or a moment. These are All Through the House, Helping Hand, 3 Robots, Zima Blue, and Bad Traveling. And S. I'm not talking at all, I just want to watch the episode. They are The Tall Grass, Ice, The Witness, Hibaro, and number 1, Sunny's Edge. Now I know what I said. Now I'm not gonna say right off the bat that it's the best one, but I just didn't want to give it away. Gotta take viewer attention wherever I can, okay? If you've seen the show, let me know your favorite episode in the comments below. Anyway, adios.